The Pythagorean Theorem by Thalia. The Pythagorean theorem is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. You're not solving for a or for b, but you're solving for c, which is the hypotenuse, also known as the longest side of the triangle. Our first equation is a right triangle is formed by the y-axis and the line y equals negative x plus 2. Find the length of the hypotenuse. So first, let's start with graphing the y-intercept here. It's 2. So we're just going to hit it on 2 on our graph. Now, for the slope, it says negative x, which is just the same as negative 1x over 1, because anything times 1 is itself, and anything divided by 1 is also itself. So, now that we have that, I'm going to keep doing this, which is down 1 over 1, because it's a negative, rather than rise over run. Technically it is, it's just a negative number on top, so I'm going down. So now I'm going to form this into a triangle. As soon as that last dot hits the x-axis, you can make it into a triangle. You should be able to make it into a triangle. So now the measurements of this are 2, as you can see on the side where it's running against the y-axis, and then 2 where it's running against the x-axis, and then we're not sure about this side length right here, which is called the hypotenuse. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug these numbers 2 and 2 into my Pythagorean theorem formula. So I have 2 squared plus 2 squared is equal to c squared. Now this can be simplified. So it's 4 plus 4 is equal to c squared. Now 4 plus 4 is 8. You keep having to bring down the c squared, otherwise your problem will be wrong. To get rid of the squared on the c, you'll have to square root them. So I did that to both sides of the equation, because do to one side as you would do to the other. And then c is equal to the square root of 8. Our next equation is a right triangle is formed by the y-axis and the line y equals negative 2x plus 6. Find the length of the hypotenuse. So I'm going to graph my y-intercept, which is 6, and then my slope is negative 2x over 1, because anything divided by 1, any number divided by 1 is just the number that you divided by 1. So I'm going to go down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1, and then we hit the x-axis, so we can make this into a triangle, just like that. Now I'm going to measure 6, 3, and then we're still not sure about that one. So we have 6 squared plus 3 squared is equal to c squared. Now these can be simplified. So 36 plus 9 is equal to c squared. Now I'm going to add 36 plus 9. You should get 45. And again, you have to get rid of the square, so you have to put a square root on both sides, because do to one side as you would do to the other. So your answer is c equals square root of 45. What happens if I am given the hypotenuse? If you're given the hypotenuse and asked to find either a or b, you're going to have to use one of the equations depending on which other side length that you are given. C squared minus A squared equals B squared, or C squared minus B squared equals A squared. The second part of the equation depends on what side length you are given besides C squared. So this time you're not looking for A or C, but you're looking for B or A, depending on what your problem is asking. So for this next equation, you're going to be given the hypotenuse and asked to find either A or B. So your side lengths are 2 and 4, 4 being the hypotenuse. So you are given the hypotenuse, so now we're going to find one of the shorter sides, either A or B. So we're going to plug 2 and 4 into the equation, C squared minus A squared equals B squared. Or, same thing as C squared minus B squared equals A squared. So I'm going to plug that in, and that can be simplified. So 4 squared minus 2 squared equals B squared is just going to be simplified simply to 8 minus 4 is equal to B squared. 8 minus 4 is 4, so 4 equals B squared. Now we must take the square root of 4 because we need to take the square root of B. Because B is squared, we have to get rid of that before we can get our final answer. And the square root of 4 is 2, so B equals 2. My reflection. I learned a lot in the making of this video. I learned with my dad's computer that it's a touch screen and it's easier to work my way around and correct my mistakes. I also learned with PowerPoint that you can record voiceovers and record your demonstration and upload it to YouTube right off of the computer. I learned a lot more about touchscreen laptops in the making of this video. This was really fun to make, but hard at the same time. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I did making it. Bye!